On today's episode of Controversial Conversation, we have.
It's 4 goals, 5
Why?
5 goals in 3 minutes.
I'm triggered by the fact that you're more concerned with the 4 goats than the baby. Next time we just blatantly abuse every community in the world, get really offensive.
Can't wait for that.
At the pace we're going, yeah.
I have.
She called it an entanglement. What is an entanglement? I don't care what you say. I don't care
I think
what community you're part of. It is a joke.
it's
SpongeBob
I think
is
beating
not
points.
gay.
Welcome back to Controversial Conversation with me, Tarun Menon, and your other host.
Rahul Hari Kumar.
We are on the 3rd episode of Controversial Conversation, which is a huge milestone in my opinion.
Very huge, very huge.
And I mean, there's nothing else to do. We will continue as usual. So first up, we have the unpopular opinion. So Rahul Hari Kumar, what is today's unpopular opinion?
Today we will be talking about basically, I don't know how LGBTQ is very I wouldn't say misrepresented. Basically how they're used in television, I'd say, to create a new viewer base.
We have to look carefully and tread with this subject here. Yeah, go ahead. Can you explain a bit more?
Yeah, so basically, like, I watch a lot of TV shows, particularly the recent ones. Like, the way it's been is there's always that one gay character that they just base his whole personality of being gay, and they don't really add much else to it. You know, it seems as if they add him just for representation, and I don't see the need for like adding gay people just for representation. It's always good to represent them, but it's a bit unnecessary sometimes in some shows.
Almost like for the sake of it, yeah?
Exactly. Have you seen any of those?
Interesting. Personally, yeah, I think there was one character in Sex Education.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
2 actually. I mean,
I have not watched that show very intensely. What about the ones you know?
I mean, I don't want to spoil the show for you, but you brought it up, so have to now. I mean, there's
I don't think it's really spoiling.
I mean, it's been out for a while. Yeah, but I mean, that's
exactly.
It doesn't really matter what show it is. Like, I'm sure all of you know that there's nothing wrong with. I mean, it's actually good to put like LGBTQ members in shows because it creates like an awareness that people shouldn't be like homophobic or transphobic or basically anything. You know?
It's not even like just good. I'd say it's fantastic that we're finally representing stuff. It's like the leap. It's like how the leap was from when women were not portrayed in media to how now we have a huge, like, it's almost equal, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're slowly, yeah.
It's definitely
And
good.
it's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Especially media is supposed to help us view the whole world, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's fantastic. But the thing is, it stops being about whether you're representing LGBTQ or not, and it starts being about just doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah?
there's this one, like, in 13 Reasons Why Season 4, again, spoilers ahead, so maybe skip a few seconds, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Skip a few seconds.
So there's this guy. There's this
13
one.
reasons why. I don't see why you would skip it.
True. Yeah, so there's one character, I think his name's Alex. And so
Yeah?
he's basically. I think he's straight until season 3. Obviously, he's probably figuring things out or, you know, whatever. But in season 4, there's literally no storyline except just him coming out. I mean, he's struggling to come out or whatever. And there's nothing really, like, his whole personality is gone except for that. And he doesn't really add anything to the plot either. So that's an issue. That's been an issue for me. Like, why do they
And
add?
that's
That's
the
the.
definition for the sake of it, yeah? I think that was a rush decision.
No, the thing is, there's absolutely no. I agree if, okay, like he comes out and there's still more to the storyline than that, right? But it's basically a whole season, and the only reason he's there is for this part of the storyline. And his,
Oh my god.
like his endeavors with the other gay character in the show. And it's technically a show about depression and very sensitive topics, basically. Mental health, right?
Exactly. I mean, I feel like in that case, you would try to portray stuff as realistically as possible, and this just seems a bit off, yeah?
It seems off, and not to mention, it strays very far away from the actual. It's, I mean, 13 Reasons Why. What are the 13 reasons even? It has nothing to do with season 4. If you have watched it, guys.
13 Reasons Why was a wild ride.
Oh, mad, right? Yeah. I mean,
Not in a good way, though.
I couldn't watch more than one season. I did watch it because
Yeah.
I like to stay on top of things. Uh, yeah, that came out wrong.
It's,
Anyway,
yeah, that's cool. Happens sometimes, Rahul. It's fine.
yeah, but what are your views on it? Why do you think people do it in the first place? What do you think it brings?
Okay, I think it brings about word of mouth, yeah. Like initially, when you start off a show and you have a gay character in it, obviously a lot more people are going to watch it,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what your story is, and that's a great thing for the exposure, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It yeah, and then that brings a lot more viewers, and I think businesses are starting to look at it exactly like that as a business now. Since it's anyway is a business, they're starting to look at more and more from a business perspective and seeing obviously if you add gay characters, you're going to get more views. It doesn't really have to matter
Yeah.
what the gay characters are or who they are.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah?
so many. Oh, I ship these two gay characters or whatever, and I think that's what they're going for, realistically.
Exactly.
You know, like,
yeah.
Just for the sake of ships, is that whatever they call it. I mean, there are characters that add stuff to the show. Like you said it yourself, Sex Education. What's his name? Eric, right? Is his name
Yeah,
Eric?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
Eric. I mean, he has
Another
like,
really
Hmm?
Another really good representation of gay characters I think was in Modern Family.
Oh yes,
Personally,
yeah,
a
yeah.
show I quite love.
Yeah, but the
And-
thing with all these characters, like from Modern Family and Sex Education, they have personalities apart from it, right?
Exactly, and they work in the humor context. So
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
funny as
afraid
well.
to
It's
indulge-
nice to see.
Yeah, when they do the stereotypes, it's meant to be funny.
Yeah,
But in a realistic situation, the stereotypes really put you off. Yeah.
and it's getting so similar. It's getting so common. Like in
Exactly.
literally every recent show that I've watched, the bully is always like he ends up coming out by season 3 or 4. Like the
Okay,
school bully.
do you want to step it up a notch?
Like
and,
how? What do you
go
mean?
For really controversial stuff.
Go for it.
So there's going to be a lot of people who agree with me on this, but there's also going to be an equal number of people who will not agree with me on this. I'm not sure how much you're into gaming, but then The Last of Us 2 just recently came out, and
Okay, I'll be
the-
honest here. I haven't played The Last of Us, either of them, but I do know that Last of Us 2 was a disappointment. My friends have said it. So.
Last of Us 2, yes, it was a disappointment, and it didn't have to be a disappointment because the game was fantastic. It's just that in their quest to add people of different sexualities in it, they kind of lost focus.
They lost the plot. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost the plot. They tried to add people of other sexualities so much that became the primary focus and not the story.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the game is
yeah.
fantastic. You will never see, like for a while at least, we will not see something like it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the first Last of Us had it nailed down. It was a beautiful game.
Wasn't it
Beginning
Game
to
of the
end.
Year or something?
It,
Well-
it ranks in the top 10 games of all time, I think.
Oh,
And the
that is
second
mad
one
actually.
had it could have easily lived up to that. But just like you mentioned, just for the sake of it, they've gone and ruined maybe the greatest game series of all time.
There's, I don't know, man. There's nothing you can say about it really. Like, there's a thing. There's representation, and then
yeah.
there's misrepresentation. You know. It's like they're using the whole idea of
Yeah, yeah.
LGBTQ, and there's a lot of people who are serious about it. A lot, obviously.
So,
But like, as long as it gets the
quite
job
sad,
done.
really.
Hmm.
Like, because it's something that you personally love. You see it going down the drain. I haven't even played The Last of Us 2 because I don't want to ruin my experience for the first one.
I mean, that's a fair idea.
Yeah, because
Ignorance is bliss.
personally, one of my friends told me after he saw the leaks that to stay away from it, and I guess I just followed him with that.
And you believe.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's fair.
So what else, Rahul Harikumar? We've covered misrepresentation or representation just for the sake of it of LGBTQ in media.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it misrepresentation. I don't know. It's just manipulative. Is that? Could you call it manipulative?
Exactly. It's a business strategy. We gotta look past it.
I mean, you
Right,
see
diversify
companies
the characters.
like you've seen the memes, right? Like companies in
Exactly.
when is Pride Month again? I'm not familiar with it.
Isn't it June?
I think it is in June or around that
Yeah.
time. So it's like companies
It
in.
was last month, so it is.
I've lost track of all months.
Yeah, it's chill. It's what it's done to us. The current situation. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so basically you see the memes, right? Companies, in
Yeah.
June, Pride Month, and then the next month they're like Black Lives Matter, and then when that month's over, they don't know what to do, which one to go for, and it's like
End of the day, it's just all corporate stuff.
just business make money. I mean, whichever makes you money
Yeah.
in the month, basically, pretty much.
Exactly.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I think over time stuff like this will diversify because they will be forced to diversify. How long can you just keep a character going off of being gay?
Oh, speaking
their
of
own-
which,
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard. You probably have. So apparently, SpongeBob SquarePants is gay now.
I have heard of this and I was just about to bring it up myself. And
Oh my god. That is
think
the
about what
most
that does
absurd thing I've heard
to-
in
Yeah,
all
yeah.
my years of living, which is not that many, but a decent amount.
I can't say this here, can I? That wouldn't be fair, would it?
That wouldn't be fair. You're too young.
No, okay.
Have you watched SpongeBob? Were you alive
Of course.
in that golden period?
Oh, come on, man. I don't think we're that far off.
5 years. It's a pretty big time.
You were 2001.
Wait, I'm 19, sorry, yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, it's 3 years. I'm 2001.
Oh. Oh, well done. That's decent. Still not a 2001
3 years
kid
is
though.
Barely anything.
Okay, anyway,
I
so
know, man.
we were talking about a very, very frustrating topic for many people like me who grew up watching this Yellow Sponge and his adventures in Bikini Bottom, right?
Exactly, and people are quick to misread it as being homophobic if you don't agree with it.
It's not
And
homophobic.
It's not. It's honestly is not. It's
I don't
just
ca-
taking.
This is not why Stephen Hillenburg died, right? The poor dude, he created a
yeah.
masterpiece, and he dies and they just massacre my guy. SpongeBob, goddamn SpongeBob. All he did was like chill with Patrick. That's the least. I don't know. That's the definition of saying no homo after whatever you do.
The least offensive analogy I can think of is if after all the years of watching MasterChef, they tell you that all the food was in fact vegan,
I mean,
and that would take the life out of MasterChef for many people who are personally not vegan, right?
I feel like only the vegan people get offended by non-vegans. I don't think any non-vegans really care.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that meme where the first
Are you
guy
a
gets
vegetarian?
preserved, the second. No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. So we have a good topic for the next episode.
Yes.
Veganism.
Should humans be vegan? Should veganism be wiped off the face of the earth?
Is veganism a thing? Is that a word? Veganism. It sounds weird.
Vegetarianism. Yeah, so
Hmm.
veganism fits, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have a point.
Yeah.
I have a good few followers who are vegan, so
Time to
Straight-
trigger all of them.
time to lose all my followers next episode. We have time.
Exactly.
Anyway, we keep
Followers-
missing the topic. What do you have to say about
Yes.
SpongeBob being gay?
SpongeBob being gay, personally, like you said, I was not that close to SpongeBob as you were, but I'm sure there was a huge audience for it.
It is one of the biggest shows of all
and-
time, I'd say.
Exactly, there was a huge audience for it. I mean, the parts that I have watched them quite intently, and such an innocent show. It had nothing to do with sexuality at all.
That's the whole thing
right?
with it. Why would they
Yeah.
bring that up? No matter what the age, no matter what people are talking. I don't care if it is like even for like an LGBTQ march, like a big protest or whatever. You still don't bring stuff like this up. There's no need.
Like, I don't think SpongeBob has even spoken about.
No,
I don't think not a
there's-
single character in that whole series has spoken about a single part of sexuality in the whole.
Forget
series,
sexual.
right?
I don't think they spoke about relationships. SpongeBob didn't even know Sandy was a girl for a long time.
Exactly.
It's mental. Oh my! It's.
I mean, I
it's-
guess cartoons are a safe haven for all that. Yeah, you're just surround. You're just in a bubble where none of this exists, right?
Find me one 6-year-old that even knows what LGBTQ stands for.
It's not even LGBTQ. There's a whole list of other letters after it, right?
I hope not, man. I don't know any.
It's LGBTQPK something like that.
I mean, I don't think it's ever gonna stop.
Yeah, it's going to keep increasing over time. That is true. But
No, but for
just
real though,
accept it.
if one person can find a 6-year-old that hasn't been told or influenced, I would believe it. But you can't find
Forget knowing about it. Forget knowing about it. I think the more apt way to describe it would be to find a 6-year-old who could care about it.
one. Good point. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating, especially for people who like grew up. That's one of my all-time favorite cartoons, like hands down. I would watch
Exactly,
it
and that's
even now
what-
if I had the time.
Yeah, and that's what it did to The Last of Us for me.
Yeah, same.
Right? It's a whole game that I don't want to play because I'm scared it might ruin the experience.
And the funny part is when this thing Nickelodeon tweeted it, I think did they? It came on the website. I'm not sure. You should have seen the comments on that. Like every person who commented, "No, this can't be true." They're just like berated, like a sea of hate comments coming in saying, "Oh, you're homophobic. Get a life. Learn how to like respect LGBTQ." It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I don't care what you say. I don't care
True. I think
what community you're part of. It is a joke.
it's I
SpongeBob
think
is
it's
not
repeating points.
gay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty one-sided, man.
I don't think it's
Can't
gay,
not
yeah,
repeat
there's no
points.
Debate to it, yeah.
I mean, there would be a debate if we had maybe someone who's overly. I wouldn't even say an LGBTQ a community member, because
A pro LGBTQ.
a pro LGBTQ. Why would they care if
I don't
SpongeBob
think,
is
yeah,
gay or
yeah,
not?
yeah. I don't think people in the LGBTQ community would care as much about SpongeBob being LGBTQ or not as someone who was just pro LGBTQ.
See, as much as I could support LGBTQ, I don't like the ones that force themselves on other people, their beliefs. You know what I mean?
True.
It's just like, okay, if you're gay, you're gay. Like it's good for you. Why are you forcing other
Yeah,
people to
it's
like
just like
James
it's
Charles
just like I'm
forcing
straight or the
men
next
to
guy is
kiss him?
straight, yeah. True, the awareness is needed. There's no denying that the awareness is needed.
Look,
the
awareness.
homophobic comments.
You're
have
talking
to
about
stop.
awareness. What I would say is
Yeah.
you shouldn't be against them. You don't even need to know. Like you shouldn't care. You don't have to care about them.
Exactly.
But don't go against them. That's
Like-
all you need.
When someone says they're gay, it should be just as normal as hearing someone say they're straight, right?
Exactly. That's how it should be,
And
ideally.
that's the whole point. You don't have to include gay characters into movies, TV shows, and bloody SpongeBob SquarePants to prove that point.
SpongeBob. That was the last straw for me. I can't take Nickelodeon seriously anymore.
True.
Especially when you do it with such good cartoons. Like, have you seen the cartoons they air on television now? I wouldn't
It's,
call them
man, the
cartoons. It's just animation. It's
Mediocre,
absolute
mediocre,
trash.
mediocre.
Yeah, it's like Disney is
Pumping
dead.
out stuff for the sake
Nickelodeon
of
is
it.
dead. Cartoon
I don't
Network
know.
is not even the same. A shadow of its old self.
There's a group of people who actually like Teen Titans Go, and it revolts me.
I mean, I don't think anyone who watched the original Teen Titans would ever.
Teen Titans can even stand Go, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god, what is it? It's like taking M&Ms and then removing whatever's inside and leaving you with the shell.
It's like buying a packet of M&Ms and finding gems in it.
Fair point. Although then Teen Titans Go would just be an Indian version of Teen Titans.
I mean, that's the case with a lot of other cartoons. Basically, everything is Indian, which is decent. Okay, like support India and Indian cartoons can be good, but at least put out good Indian cartoons.
There have been a few good cartoons that have come and gone, especially on Cartoon Network, over the past few years, but they've been overlooked, and that's criminal. That's criminal. Never
I mean,
overlook a good cartoon.
There are two which I've personally like. My sister watches these cartoons, so I've seen a few of them. But like nothing compared to like our childhood and everything.
I mean, our childhood is two different time periods.
Not really.
from
Like
those
I'd
years,
say
so-
you would have had at least a decent amount of the same shit that we watched. No?
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it is 3 years after all. It's not a different age. It's the same decade at least.
I think one of I mean, Adventure Time was pretty good.
Adventure Time was sick. There's this thing called the World of Gumball, the Amazing World of Gumball. It's really
Yeah, and the regular show. Oh my god, regular show was ahead of its time.
The regular show wasn't actually meant to be a cartoon. I think there's like an adult version of.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've seen that video.
It would fit better on Adult Swim, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that's that for the cartoons at least.
I mean,
A few missteps, some have been ruined.
and we strayed very far from the original topic. the
True, but I think it was because of SpongeBob, yeah.
Yeah, definitely because SpongeBob's.
And anything's justified when you have SpongeBob in it.
I get very emotional when
That's
SpongeBob is brought up. Such a huge part of my childhood.
It's alright, Rahul. Better things yet to come, I guess.
I doubt it. But anyway,
Yeah. So let's move on to submissions, I guess.
cool. So submissions this week.
Nice.
There's still a lot from like the previous weeks, which we haven't gone through.
Tell me one interesting one.
Okay, how about this one? Are people too sensitive these days? Which is a very good question. Tarun, you want to go first?
Yes, I do want to go first. I mean, it. Forget the context. Forget what we're talking about. Whether it's new media or whether it's like, I don't want to say. I mean, I guess issues, obviously, yeah, you should be quite sensitive because that's the only way stuff will change, yeah. But
Mhm.
especially in media, people are getting quite sensitive, I'd say. For every little thing, you can see huge uprisings, not even uprisings, what I'd like to call keyboard warriors, who start typing out
Keyboard warriors, SJWs, all in the same
yeah,
boat, just different
crazy
names.
comments,
Yeah.
hate comments and everything for almost an unnecessary reason. And I find that really, I don't know, what do I say, enraging? Yeah, quite angers me. You can see
Does it
from my
anger you?
face,
But
I'm angry right now.
why exactly does it anger you when you see people?
It angers me, and then it amuses me, which is the best way to get angry.
Yeah.
It angers me because there's no reason to actually speak out at that moment, right?
Like you said,
It's just someone's opinion.
yeah, exactly. I think
Most of the time. Yeah, it's just someone's opinion.
especially when it's things like, if it's a very serious topic, by all means get offended by it. But when it's stupid shit like nothing that hurts anyone, and you just get offended over it, like we spoke about this in the last episode, a small bit. I told you about the chair situation at the feminists. Well, I wouldn't call them proper feminists. I'd call them feminazis.
Yeah. Or what was it? Yeah. Do you want to repeat for?
Yeah,
the-
repeat it for the guys who are new. So basically, we spoke about how some feminazis were offered chairs by a male, and they found it offensive. They thought it was demeaning to them, and
Right.
it was it was hilarious. It was actually hilarious, and made me lose a small bit of hope in humanity.
True. And it's not even just feminists here. It's most of the time a lot of it is guys as well who just speak out for no reason. Crazy. They get triggered for the smallest of stuff and they won't let you back.
There's actually a worse kind of male people who do this stuff. In the male ones that use this as an excuse to get women. I don't know if you've seen these people online.
Right.
I
Have you?
Yeah, I have a lot of people who I used to be friends with who I don't really speak to nowadays. Not gonna mention, obviously.
Mhm.
No, but you see like
Friend poaching.
crazy stories, like small issues, and yet they go posting hundreds of stories about it, and then going like, "Oh, I'm ashamed to be a man. I'm ashamed to be male. I'm sorry for being a male." That doesn't make sense. Like, it's actually a good topic.
Right.
See, look, do you ever think you should apologize for being a man in this country?
No, you should never apologize for who you are. Ever. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, whatever.
You remember the whole boys' locker room incident? It was around that
That
time.
had a pretty sad outcome. Yeah, the guy died and stuff.
What? No. I think there's another dude. There's another dude. He wasn't related to the.
Really?
Yeah. That was he suicided. Right?
But it was a similar situation. Yeah.
Yeah. It was something like he was falsely accused of rape.
Yeah, the Snapchat stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No. The thing.
Sensitive
See.
issues, sensitive issues.
The thing is, there's so many different stories that came up at the time, and
Yeah,
a lot
everything
of
just
it-
exploded at once.
I don't know if you're aware, but the girl who brought that up, the girl who like brought the issue forward, the boys' locker room, she was her screenshots were revealed where she was messaging homophobic stuff to another dude, one of her juniors or something. Like she used
That's-
a lot of homophobic language and just called him out, abused him. But the funny thing is, she went from I think I don't know how much she had initially, but she jumped up to like 60K followers after that incident.
Hypocrisy at its finest.
I know, and she wasn't even cancelled. She just made her account private. Now she's all good. 60K followers, chilling.
My God. My God.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, but again, we were talking about the sensitive issue. So I was saying, when the whole boys' locker room issue came up, I don't know about all of your followers and following. A lot of people on my feed were posting stories saying, "I'm sorry for being like a male in this country." I don't get it.
Right. I mean, it must have been like the boys' locker room incident. I'd say for those, I don't think it's right for all men to apologize for that group of people. The same way, if it had happened to girls, all girls shouldn't apologize for a certain group of girls, right?
Of course, it's not right at all. It doesn't make any sense. Like, look, I won't say that the boys' locker room thing is an isolated event. There's a lot of groups like that. There's a lot of people doing it for sure, and it's not just males. You think girls don't talk about that stuff?
It's equal everywhere. I don't see any part of society that
Yeah, for sure.
isn't becoming
I
equal,
know
yeah.
personally people who speak just as much crap like in private or even more, females. I'm not gonna say it's more, but
Yeah, I mean,
at least say the same amount.
that's really crazy and stupid when you think about it. Advocating for something in public and then speaking to your will in private. That's
It's
that kind of
such
defeats
a
your point, doesn't
snake
it?
move, especially when you get called out for it and you just don't get cancelled. That's another thing. It's so biased. Like it's a whole double
and
standard.
your justification is that you advocated for it in public.
Yeah, but what does that do? If you're gonna advocate for it and then say it yourself, there's no meaning to it. You're just contributing more to the problem. No?
Exactly. These guys, man, you do have no idea how much I'm against this kind of behavior.
It's pitiful.
It's not even just me. Everybody should be against this kind of behavior.
Yeah, but yeah. So we were talking about how sensitive people are, and this is one very common instance. Like when a guy posts a story saying, "I'm ashamed to be a guy." Why? Why are you ashamed?
True. There's no reason to be ashamed.
It's not like we've done
There's
anything.
another set of people.
And then there's this whole group of like females saying, "Oh, you should be ashamed because you should have told your friends. If you haven't, then what are you doing?" and all that stuff. How many people will we tell? You can't change the whole world. You can
Look,
try.
Yeah. Everybody's friend circle is quite like, what do you say, modular nowadays, right? So if one person posts a story, most of my friends know that that person has posted the story as well.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying
So-
like people are influenced by their friends' stories?
No, no, it's not about stories. Like what you were saying about how if you did know it, you should have told all your friends.
No.
All my friends already know.
See, what I said was, once this whole "I'm sorry for being a guy" thing came up, there were like females saying, "Yes, very good. You should be sorry because you should have like your parents should have taught you. You as men should tell your children and all this stuff." Like, that's not how.
It's crazy.
There's a difference between being a rapist and being like someone who just wasn't told, right? There's a huge difference in
know,
mentality of a person like that.
Again, there are a group of people who have nothing to do with this. Like an more innocent group of people probably have no idea what the boys' locker room incident even is, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
shed under a bad light.
For sure. Like, I think there were people in the group who didn't say anything. I mean, to be fair, they were still in the group though, right?
Right.
I mean, if they didn't
Yeah, I
say,
mean that's unforgivable. Like if you're in the group, you should have spoken up against.
or you
it.
should have left. At least don't
Yeah,
comply with
exactly.
it. Don't be silent
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say something.
But like
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of. You know who Shawn Michaels Scott is, right? Do you?
Not really. Who is Shawn Michaels?
He's a very popular. Have you watched American Pie?
Oh yeah.
His
I mean no, but yes.
his thing is Schiffler, his name. You know him,
Yes.
the
yes,
comedy
yes,
role.
Yes, I do.
He's in Welcome to the Jungle.
I do.
So I've been watching a lot of his movies because I really like his movies. They're funny, and it's,
The whole guy is irreverent.
yeah, like, he's a very good actor as well. So basically, like I was watching a lot of his movies, and you can see the difference in the jokes, in the freedom of jokes they had back then.
Right. I was just watching Family Guy a few hours back,
Yeah.
and honestly, none of that would pass today.
None of
would
it,
pass
like,
today.
it's not Simpsons as well. Remember Apu, right?
That would be considered too racist for today.
I mean, it is considered. The guy resigned, I think. The guy who's voicing Apu.
Oh yeah. He's come off the show.
Yeah, he came off.
Saying it should be an authentic Indian.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what they said, but they said, I don't know if he resigned or they threw him out. I'm not sure what happened actually, but I know he's not
I
Apu
think
anymore.
he came off. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I liked Apu actually. And see, we're Indians, like, it's okay to make a joke about it. It's there for a lot of
If
races.
we're not offended by it, who is?
Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure that no Indian has gone and told them, not at least not a majority. To be fair, like,
I mean,
if you play GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, most of the shopkeepers in that are Indian and they have the same accent as Apu. But like an accent,
fair.
it's just what they think. Like that's the accent that they've seen from movies and everything like that. That's what they think. They're not. I don't think they mean it with any malice.
Exactly. It's again an
It's
innocent play on. It's a joke.
even if
just
even if it isn't
simple.
innocent, it's still a joke. It's meant to be taken lightly as a joke. And
I mean, nothing is off the table when it comes to comedy. Nothing should ever be off the table when it comes to comedy.
as long as you imply that it's comedy, especially when Simpsons is
Exactly,
it is a
yeah.
family rated. It is like humorous. It's meant to be a satire. Same with Family Guy and Simpsons, both of them.
I mean, the only show that still upholds the thing of not giving a damn about what they say is Rick and Morty.
But you know the time will come eventually.
I still don't think Rick and Morty will shy away from.
No, they won't shy away. I'm saying the time will come when people make an issue out of it and they're forced to.
Right. I mean,
That was another
with
submission
prior
actually.
Warning.
The cancel
Yeah,
culture
what-
thing, the whole cancel culture. I think it complies with the current topic right now. What we're discussing.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the whole if you say one wrong thing, even by accident, your whole career's done.
That's mistakes happen. Mistakes happen all the time. You really shouldn't be judging people for a single mistake.
You remember the whole thing with PewDiePie, right? The power when he was playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's no.
It's happened before to him as well. The anti-Semitic.
It's happened a lot to PewDiePie. The thing is that is inexcusable. You can't do that, no matter what you say. But like,
I
I don't think he.
that. No, yeah.
I don't think he meant it wrong again. I would that thing actually I would see how people get offended by it. Not gonna lie.
But
For sure.
But if he had properly implied it as comedy, then I don't think it should have been such a big issue.
It would still be an issue.
I mean,
He's
don't
white,
we-
and
do-
you say
yeah.
you say the word. You can't
Okay,
say the
yeah,
word.
okay. Racist comments, maybe. a
Yeah,
bit
but the thing
too
is,
far crossing a line, but yeah.
if that was a smaller YouTuber, he would be done.
Right.
Think
right,
about it,
right.
like-
that career wouldn't. Yeah, that career wouldn't exist. Today.
Yeah, that wouldn't have held out if it was anyone except PewDiePie.
I mean, PewDiePie barely survived it. What do you expect?
Yeah. I mean, these days you see people like digging up tweets from 20 years ago and then posting that saying, "Oh, they said this in 1986."
That's really, really stupid. Why would you do that?
You look like when someone's younger, they say stupid shit. I still have friends who like joke around using the N word, and although they don't right now, when they were younger, they used to just say it for fun because they didn't know what it actually meant.
Right, and I recently, I think, saw a post that said you really, 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 really shouldn't use the N word no matter what it is, not even if you're singing along to a song. What are your thoughts on that?
I was actually going to talk about the song thing. See, me personally, if I'm ever trying to rap along with a favorite rapper, I don't say it.
I would love to see that someday. Increase your talents.
It's hard because you go with the flow and then you just stop and then one bit and skip to the next. But like,
It's not natural.
huh? It's not natural.
It's not natural. to
Yeah,
do
it's
that,
not natural, of course, because that's part of the song. My whole issue is why put it in the song, you know? But then again, you know,
I mean,
like you can't blame them. It's part of the whole. I mean, it's just the way they speak, right? Some of them, they just use the word, so they can't
exactly.
chain
if it's
themselves.
just the way they speak, then should it be such a taboo for us?
Again, that brings us to another topic. Like, is it right for them to use it when it's so offensive to them? Why do they use it? Right? Why do black people
right. I
use the
remember
N
seeing
word?
somewhere that.
Yeah. So I was saying,
Go ahead.
why would black people use the N word if it's so offensive to them if someone else says it? Why do they address each other with it?
I know. I think I saw another post saying that the N word, when a person of another race says the N word, it's kind of demeaning, and it puts us back in a time where, you know what time I'm talking about, apartheid, right?
Yeah, no, but the thing is,
And-
it brings them back to the time, sure. But the thing is, that is what the word means, regardless of who uses it, right? Just because they say it doesn't
True,
mean it
but
means something else.
Apparently when black people use it, it becomes a thing
Friendly?
where it becomes, it's like normalizing the word.
Yeah.
But then here's my question. If they are using it to normalize the word, then shouldn't it be normalized from other races as well?
Look, I would never use the N word. Even if I got a so called N word pass, like the memes and shit, I would not say it. Out of respect, out of whatever. But I just, I don't get the whole, why do they use it in the first place? I never get that. And I don't think I ever will.
I'll be open and admit it. I have used it before in the past, before it was a sensitive topic.
Or before you knew it was before you knew it was
probably
offensive.
Was always a yeah.
See, like, that's the thing.
I would personally, even at the time, I don't think I would have ever called a person of color the N word, but I do jest around and call my friends the N word sometimes. Is that offensive as well?
Again, I would say it is offensive. If you know what it means, it is offensive for sure, and if you know what it signifies.
Right.
But since you did in the
think that's
past, I don't know. I wouldn't consider it. I would be okay. Like, I would look past it.
Yeah, I mean, people learn
Yeah.
all the time, hopefully, except keyboard warriors, they never learn.
They never learn. They don't have to learn because no one knows who they are.
Exactly. They don't even live lives worth understanding.
Yeah. So
If you're a keyboard warrior, just click off the video. I don't even need your views.
I wonder if people will agree with the whole Appu should be, back on Simpsons or whatever. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who think, oh no, you cannot do that. You can't like blatantly fake an Indian accent. Because have you ever seen an Indian
Right,
these
but then-
days who talk like that?
No, but then we become so used to it. Appu is like the personification
Of Indian.
of the. I don't want to say Indians, but like the character he played, it was pretty accurate to what an Indian might have been. I mean, in a Simpsons style, obviously it's not going to be realistic,
Like
but the same way they portray other races, I think it was fairly accurate for an Indian.
the only
And
problem I have with
and-
it is it's very inaccurate. Like if you ask any foreigner, majority of them who haven't been to India or interact with Indians, proper Indians, like people who haven't grown up there, like all of them will come up with that same accent just because of Hollywood.
Right. I mean, that's again stereotyping the accent. Not everybody has the accent.
Yeah, but
But then
look,
the question
you come
becomes
here.
like in a show like The Simpsons.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you come here And I genuinely haven't seen anybody who speaks like that. Nobody. South Indians have a different accent, North Indians have a different accent, but none of them match that one.
True, true, true. But then in a show like The Simpsons, where there's so many characters, like if we didn't know that Apu was Indian from the get-go, I think the accent would have been the only thing that gave it away. Like
And the fact that he's the only
stereotyping
brown
for
guy
identity.
in a sea full of yellow dudes. Literally yellow, I'm not being offensive to anyone. I have to clarify
Yes.
that.
But then brown dude could mean so many races as well.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of brown, you can just
But
tell.
yeah, it's
He's not coming up like, yo, Hesse, what's up? He's blatantly Indian.
quintessential Indian.
Yeah.
Quintessentially Indian, yeah. People being overly sensitive. Concluding thoughts, Rahul Harikumar.
People are overly sensitive. Well, the question was, are people too sensitive these days? Definitely, without a doubt.
There's no whoever asked that question. You probably know the answer yourself.
The
but
people
still
who
you're hearing it
aren't-
from our mouths.
The people who aren't either have a meme page with over at least 500 followers, or they follow a lot of meme pages. That's all I can say. Or editors, but I hate editors.
Editors are a toxic community.
Very toxic.
If you find me dead, you know the reason.
Yeah. I
So,
think that sums it
Let's
up.
move on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so. Oh, this is a very recent topic. Something that happened a week ago. Discuss the Will and Jada entanglement. Are you familiar with this? The Will Smith, Jada Smith?
I'm not. I'm not fully sure about the details, but yeah, for podcast sake, yes, I am.
I mean, do you want me to fill you in?
Okay, let's see what I do know and what I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, a while ago, Jada Smith opened up on her podcast with Will Smith, and they spoke about how she had cheated on him with this singer called August, an artist. And yeah, so basically that turned into a whole like a fad, and everyone has been talking about it, and Will Smith is basically a meme now. And
I mean,
it's more sad than funny when you see the memes. I don't think I've ever laughed at one actually. It's mainly just, oh, I feel
it's
bad
hard
for
to
Will
see
Smith.
him like that. Yeah, it's really, really hard to see Will Smith like that.
It's Will Smith, like it's Will Smith, the Will Smith, and if you see something like that happening to a guy like him, it just makes you question everything.
If it could happen to him, it
It
could happen
could-
to literally anyone.
No, if it could happen to him, it has happened to everyone else basically. That's how much of a
Yeah.
deal Will Smith is. The Fresh Prince. If you can't stay loyal to the Fresh Prince, what are you doing? Yeah, but
Pretty sad because I don't know. I mean, personally, I think she would have had her reasons to do it.
oh no, bro, you have to listen to this. So what happened
Yeah, go
was,
ahead.
so in the podcast they discuss it. First of all, I don't know how he's so cool about it, but okay, people are people after all. Everyone's different. So we'll get to that later. I was gonna say, so he asks why, okay, and her reason is simple. She said, he looked like he needed healing. I wanted to heal him. What are your thoughts on this?
No. Not for a guy like Will Smith. That's not the answer you want to give to a guy like Will Smith.
No, but okay,
I
let's
take back
forget.
the fact that she might have had her reasons.
Exactly. No, let's forget it's Will Smith. Think of it as some random dude from the next block. Okay. Now tell me what are your thoughts for
Still
that?
extremely sad. Still extremely sad.
No, it's not sad. Tell me what are your thoughts on the reason he needed healing. So basically, she said he was in a dark place and he needed help. Go to a therapist. That's what I think.
I mean, even if there's honestly, like you said, going to a therapist is one thing, yeah. But this is the other extreme. Jada Smith going out and cheating on Will Smith with that guy because he needed healing.
I mean, have you seen them? You
That's
have probably seen the
absurd.
memes, right? Like the whole entanglement thing.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, she called it an entanglement. What is an
Damn.
entanglement?
It reminds me of a pretzel for some reason.
A
All I can
pretz?
think about pretzels now.
I don't know, man. That's strange. But yeah, also basically,
It's a bit strange,
2
yeah.
nights ago, I was I was awake for some reason, and I think it was like 12:30 a.m. So this dude drops a song, August, with Rick Ross, and it's called, guess what? Entanglements.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna read out the lyrics for you. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, let's do that.
This will be nice to see. Keep in mind, this is a person with how many kids does he have? 2, 3?
Who?
Will Smith.
Yeah, yes. He has two, right? Willow Smith.
Willow and Jaden, yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm gonna read this out for you, okay? So it's basically.
Mhm.
Shit, where's that verse? Yeah. Shorty leaning on my shoulder, got her question my willpower. Will Smith. Jaded by her beauty, but her reputation real solid. Jaded. She's talking about the kid as well. Morning down the hallway, I can tell you how I feel about it. Caught up in the Matrix, and I doubt if I can get up out it. The Matrix, because Jada Smith was in the Matrix, right?
Oh my god. Is he trying to be clever because it's just becoming offensive now?
Look, honestly, like I give him mad credit for what he's done. This is like proper, I don't know, artist beef. Is what I'd call it. And like he's destroyed the man.
I don't even.
He's destroyed him. If,
Yeah, he's.
I expect Will Smith to come up with something, man, because this is just sad to see.
I love to see Will Smith partnering up with Eminem. for
Drop a
greatest
few
comeback
bars
that we've seen.
August.
Yeah.
Oh my
just
god.
seeing the greatest comeback we've seen in a while. That would be epic.
It's so bizarre. Like, why would they first of all bring it up on the podcast in public? Like, sort it out yourself. You've just given people meme material.
To be Will Smith who found out on a podcast.
What would you do?
I can't even imagine that situation.
What would you do if you were in Will Smith? What would you do if you were Will Smith?
No, I would have done the same thing that he did. I would have sat down there and cried for a bit.
I mean, would you forgive in the end?
After August releases songs like that,
But again, you can't blame August. I mean, you can't blame Jada for what August has done afterwards, like after you've spoken about it, right?
right. Yeah, okay, so
honestly, like, would you?
forgiving Jada becomes a priority. Like it.
You have
You
to
would
kids.
have to forgive her. Yeah, at some point.
But it's not common for like actors to stay together for their kids and shit.
It's not going to be the same. Obviously, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
And I don't think the kids need them to stay together either, right? They're old enough, yeah?
And they're filthy rich.
Yeah, it's Will Smith we're talking
It's
about.
Will
here.
Smith and Jada Smith. She's probably huge as well. And Jaden
Yeah,
Smith
yeah.
himself is like making racks from his songs and everything.
Right.
Yeah, so
So,
realistically,
assume-
there's no reason. I think I know what it is. Realistically speaking, you know about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and all the false allegations that came out.
yeah, a while back, right?
Oh yeah, a while back. So the thing is, they always end up losing money. The actors. It always
Right,
gets
right,
very messy for them. Like mostly the other spouse. I mean, the spouse gets out with the better half. It's probably like he didn't want to lawyer up and just go all out. It's much easier to just say, "Oh, forgive you." Because I don't see anyone realistically forgiving after stuff like this.
Will Smith, I think this is going to be the end of that chapter for Will Smith.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Just
much
probably
more.
turning back from it now, yeah.
Yeah, so
So have you got another suggestion?
yeah, we have loads. So that's that. What do you think about Will Smith and Jada? It's sad, that's all. Cool.
yeah.
What is next? What is next?
Just step into his shoes and think about that for a second. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Am I wrong for dating a 17-year-old if I'm 18? I'm the wrong person to be asking that. Anyway, what do you think?
Okay, if you started dating them before you were 18, I can kind of understand.
I mean, this is what it says.
Then just
Just like, let's assume that they are 18 at the moment of sending this in, and the other one's 17.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like when the person was 16 and the other person was 17, if they had started dating, can kind of understand.
Okay, yeah, because they're both underage.
And
But
when
see,
the guy or the girl
don't you think
turns
that's
18,
don't you think it's a bit harsh, the whole one age rule? Like you said, if it's 16, 17, it's fine, but 17, 18 is different. How is it different though? It's just a year.
right? But it's legally different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is
Like you're not legally allowed to drink till the last day of your 20th birthday, right?
it 21st? Oh, wait, last day
Yeah,
21st.
the last day of your 20th birthday, you're not allowed to drink.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
It's just a day, but still, you're still not allowed to drink, right?
No, but it's like you said. If one is 16, the other is 17, then later on when they go to 17, 18, it's fine. That's what you said, right?
I didn't say it was fine. I said it was understandable why you would be making this comment.
Okay, so you said it's understandable legally, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's understandable why you would have such a concern to begin with.
Yeah.
I'd say break it up with him or her, or just take a break for a year and then come back.
Take a break for a year.
Take a break.
Wow.
That's going to end up in some. That's going to end up in some Will Smith type of shit. Don't do that.
Okay. That I don't think there's much more to
Take the
say
risk
about
and
that.
say, yeah,
So they've
just-
said,
just-
am I wrong
just
for dating
stay
17-year-old
with
from 18? Well, legally you are wrong. It's not allowed. Just
Legally
wait for
you
a
are
year.
wrong. Yeah, just
That's-
wait it out for a year or take the risk, live on the edge, my buddy.
Yeah. On
We don't
controversial
condone
conversation
or,
here,
encourage.
we definitely support the law. So that's that.
Yeah, so you are in the wrong, my dear friend.
Yeah. Okay. What is next? What
I'd
is
be
next?
interested to know though. Is it the guy who's a year older or the girl?
There's no way we can tell, unfortunately.
Please message us again, please.
I would have asked this question a few years ago, but I was smart enough to know it's illegal. Like, the last thing you want is people tracking you down just because you're 16, the other one's 17, the other one's 18.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this one? I mentioned before. Should the death penalty be allowed?
Do we have capital punishment in India? Yes, we do.
The last
A lot of countries don't have it. Yeah.
wasn't the Nirbhaya rapist hanged?
Yeah. I think so. Hanging. Yeah. But there's a lot of countries that don't have capital punishment, right?
A lot, yeah. There's a lot of countries, and there are
Yeah,
some
there's a lot
which
of countries that don't
enforce it
have.
for the most basic reasons, right?
Giving me some dictator vibes there.
Yeah, I mean that is the case in a few countries. I'm pretty sure, I'd assume. Could be wrong. Could be horribly wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Very controversial there.
back to the question: do you think that it should be a thing? Do you think it's right?
I've heard that in Sweden, the prisons are actually more like rehabilitation centers, so that the prisoners come out,
Better men?
as better men or women, and they come out to not repeat a crime rather than to be punished for their earlier one.
Okay, so let's say a man has raped 3 women, a baby, and 4 goats, and he's in rehabilitation prison. Do you think he's coming?
Goats.
You don't know people, man.
Okay, first off, that's never gonna happen. In Sweden.
How do you? Okay, I don't know about Sweden.
It's Sweden.
We're not talking about Sweden in particular. We're just
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
talk
no,
about
I
the system in
understand,
general. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do you think they're coming out a better man?
Depending on whether Sweden's
Don't
apparent
don't
rehabilitation
don't talk
systems-
about Sweden alone. Like, just assume the best rehabilitation system in the world, the most rehabilitation a guy can undergo.
I'd hope so, because we'd have a horrible serial killer type thing on our hands.
Yeah, but see,
Otherwise.
when someone, as I said, like if you do
Goats.
a heinous, 4 goats.
4 goats. Why did you come
Okay,
up with that number?
Cool, yeah, fine. Let's say 5 goats. Round it off. Yeah,
You
so
do know that rounding off 4 would become 0.
I'm rounding it
rounding
off
off
to the
5
nearest 5. I don't know. Come on, man.
Nearest
That's
5.
school grade math. We don't need the numbers anymore.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it. Just tell me what you think.
Um,
Is a death penalty not satisfactory in that opinion? In that instance?
there is nothing more than the death penalty, right? Unless it's like a torture penalty, but then
That
that's
would be
just
worse, yeah, like-
inhumane. Yeah.
I mean, I would say death penalty is
And-
very inhuman as well, but just not as vigorous and
The
harmful.
idea isn't to torture. The idea isn't to torture the
I mean, the
criminal.
idea is to
Make
punish
sure
the
the
criminal.
crime-
Punishment is like literally the.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
No, but
torture
then-
be the
no,
best form of
that's-
punishment?
Our goal at the end of the day is to reduce the crime rates, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Our goal at the end of the day is to reduce the crime rates. By
Mhm.
torturing the criminal horribly, if it's not going to reduce crime rates, then there's no point,
Yeah, that is true.
right?
But like you said,
So-
I mean, like we're talking about, the death penalty would reduce crime rate by a huge load, because that would bring the most fear anyone could possibly have.
Right. And I don't think if there was something greater than a death penalty, for instance, a torture penalty, I don't think that would.
It wouldn't be productive or
Yeah,
efficient.
It just wouldn't work to our goals. Yeah.
Which brings us back to the question: what do you think? Should there be a death penalty or not? Decisive answer.
Yes, I think the death penalty still has a place in a few societies where the crimes do get pretty gruesome. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about that.
And
How gruesome a crime should you commit to be eligible for a death penalty?
Okay, first off, the example you gave me was way too overkill for that very purpose.
So overkill. So you would give a death penalty, like, just to get this straight.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
It's 4 goats, 5.
Why-
5 goats and
I-
3
I-
women.
I'm triggered by the fact that you're more concerned with the 4 goats than the baby. I mean,
There's a baby in between.
yeah, I said a baby. I said 4
Oh my
women,
God.
a baby.
Raj, come on. Where
Wow.
are you going with this?
Where are you going with this? You've been talking about 4 goats when there's a baby mentioned. You didn't hear the baby's name.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's forget that happened.
Yeah.
So yes, how would you categorize crime? I think there's first degree, second degree, and stuff, right?
I don't know the law well enough, so let's keep it very vague. Just define the
Yeah,
crimes
okay,
the way I did. Okay, I'll give you some instances. Okay, murder.
Anything
Murder.
above. Yeah. Anything. Yeah. I think murder onwards should be death penalty.
Really? What if it was I mean, yeah, there's no excuse for murder, whatever murder it is. So you think anybody who's murdered someone cannot be corrected? Because you were talking about correctional measures and rehabilitation.
I mean, like I said, anything above a murder should be death penalty.
What is above a murder for
Maybe-
you?
Maybe a murder can be rehabilitated depending on the person, right?
Okay.
But anything above that, I think there's no turning back from that point.
So here, just to get this straight, are we talking about numbers here? Like, is it like 1 murder is fine? Not fine, but you know what I mean. But 2 murders needs a
Even
death penalty.
even 1.5. I don't know how to even say it, but even 1.5 wouldn't be alright.
1.01 of a murder is done. That's fair.
Maybe
So yeah,
1 is the last hope, last straw for the criminal.
so that's what you think. So just to conclude with your opinion, you think death penalties should exist.
Yes, in some places. I don't think Sweden needs it. I don't think Iceland needs it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any.
So basically, the most extreme cases. I can
Yeah.
see the logic there. I can see your point. Me personally,
Hopefully,
I wouldn't be for that, no matter what the crime. It's more of a
you think nothing deserves a death penalty, yeah?
not from us. You know, I feel like it is murder. Like, even if the guy, like I said, has raped 4 women, a baby, and 5 goats, that doesn't give us the right to kill them, because that's technically murder on our part, right? No matter how we justify it.
Right. I
You-
can see your point there as well. Yeah, there's so I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, you remember the Hyderabad incident? I don't know, like they raped a woman and burned her body.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
was, I'm not sure if I recall this, so please excuse me if it's wrong. But I think a lot of people wanted the guy
policemen
dead
found
before.
them, yeah.
Yeah, the police found him dead or something, or they shot. I don't know. I can't recall. All I know is that he died. He did die.
Yeah, shot down encounter. I
Encounter, yeah. So the thing is, even before before he got shot, social media was flooded with people saying just kill him, and everything like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Think. Right. I mean,
Just this is going
We
a bit.
have
This is going a bit deep, a bit risky territory, I'd
Yeah.
say, because whatever you say here is going to be criticized eventually. But it's fine. Just be open. Whatever you think.
we do have a judicial system.
Okay.
For a reason, yeah. May not be the most efficient, may not be the best, but we do have a judicial system,
So
and that
no, I was
means-
saying, you're talking about the trial,
yeah, what
right?
is
In the end, you're saying
No,
leave it.
I was going to build up to that maybe. You were saying how on social media people were vouching for him dying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying we do have a judicial system. Like I said, I will not repeat myself. It's full of experts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I don't think people should be the final judge.
Yeah.
Neither should people strongly voice an opinion. Like, go ahead, voice your opinion, but I don't think they should take action for it.
We shouldn't. That's what we're trying to say. I think we
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
citizens have no right to do anything in that regard. No matter how heinous the crime, like I agree. Like
Exactly.
the justice system hasn't been good enough. Let's be honest. Like crimes like this go
Yeah, okay.
unnoticed for so long, and then the trial goes on for another 20 years. And by the
But
time
that doesn't mean we become the.
No,
That's
yeah,
just going to spiral out.
I'm getting
That's
to it.
going
I'm getting to
spiral
it.
out of control.
I'm saying like by the time action is actually taken, people have forgotten what the issue was. It takes that long.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but I think basically at least give them the trial. That's the least bit of humanity we can offer them.
Everything needs a fair trial, right?
Yeah. No, even if the trial says death penalty, it's obviously going to be a fair decision because they have evidence. They don't do anything without evidence these days, as they
Right,
should.
right. So I think we have crossed. The episodes keep extending.
We have?
Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Oh, I figured. My camera is almost out of memory. You could go on for like 4 minutes, conclude it, I guess. Let's go with
Yeah, I think we can start concluding now. Yeah.
You want to go for one last one, small one?
Yeah, one final one and then small one and then we can conclude it.
Okay. Let's see. Go quick. How much? We've got a lot of. We've gone through a lot of submissions. We're running out very fast.
Choose a small one. Yeah, choose a small one.
Guys, quick request. I'll make it after the submission. Actually, just finish it off. Okay, third Menon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go with this one. I feel like it's a simple one, not too much behind it. Should online what am I saying? Ugh. Should online classes be cancelled?
Okay, I have a lot of stuff to say about this, but then I'd just be repeating myself over and over again.
Yeah, just sum it up.
I have a great idea for you. If you don't like online classes, take a break for this year, do something you love, and then come back to school next year.
I mean,
Or
you could do that
college
in
next
school, but the college you can't do that,
yeah,
right?
I'm not sure about you can't do that in college. But so depending on where you are right now,
Hmm?
school or college, that was my idea. Other than that, I think the Supreme Court has a 3-hour rule, right?
Yeah, the exceeding something like that.
Yeah. So I think you should be good. Online classes, I know how sometimes they can be frustrating. They aren't the most effective way to learn.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of videos on YouTube that are more efficient, and you're still paying a large amount of fees.
So you think they should just waive off the fees and just let go for a while?
No, they shouldn't waive off the fees because that would put a lot of teachers in danger, right?
Yeah. But I mean, there are students who are struggling to pay the fees when it isn't worth it.
True, but there are many families who have teachers as their only income as well.
Agreed. I think it goes both
And,
ways. It's a bit hard to decide
yeah,
on that.
it goes.
If they
And,
cancel it, teachers
massive
go.
respect to
Hmm?
massive respect to teachers who are teaching online classes. It's very very difficult. It's almost it's harder than sitting in class because all
Not
you're
to
doing is
mention, it's
sitting. They
so
have to
annoying.
teach.
Like, if you're someone who has a teacher as a parent, my mom was a professor. She's resigned right now temporarily.
Mhm.
So it just so annoying that when you see kids playing around and just like turning the whole class into a joke online.
Exactly.
It's pissing off. Like, it might seem funny initially, but if you're on the other end, it just seems very annoying. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, so I guess that's that. Online classes are subjective. Some people can live with it. Some people can.
I'd say
personally
at the moment, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to sit in it because colleges can't do without it. We have to finish our
Live with
syllabi and everything.
if you're in school, consider taking a break here.
If you can. Again, it's not
If you can, I
advisable,
don't think
obviously.
Your parents, your
Yeah.
parents will probably be against it.
And you're wasting a whole
So
year.
I guess that's that.
Yeah, it was a pretty
It's the end of another
risky, controversial episode. It gets even more controversial each time, I'd say.
Next time, I wonder what we're going to be next time. What we're going to say next time.
Next time, we just blatantly abuse every community in the world, get really offensive.
Can't
At the
wait for
pace we're
that.
going. Yeah, for sure. Guys, a quick request. It's been a while. We need more submissions, so keep sending those in. We'd appreciate it. And
Please
obviously,
send the submissions.
yeah, please send in submissions. I mean, what else? You guys need to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to Controversial Conversation. We upload every week, every Saturday, to be exact.
Yep.
So, I'm pretty sure it's at least moderately entertaining. And that's a biased view, but I hope it's good. I think it's good. So yeah, subscribe. Please like the video. Means a lot. What else do we say, Tarun?
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. That's it, guys. See you later.
This is myself signing out.